Okay. I think we have to wait. Let more people join the meeting.
All right, that's fine.
Okay, let's just wait. Let's wait extra 2 to 3 minutes so that others can join the meeting. Please, don't leave. Let's just wait for others to join, I beg. Okay. Welcome, Mr. Astus.
Good evening. Yeah.
Good
God bless you. You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay. I think the meeting should officially start. Welcome everyone on board. Welcome. Thank you for joining today's meeting. Okay, our presenter for today's roundtable meeting is Oyinda Mola Kushimo. Are you there? Oyin, are you there?
Yes, I am. Good evening. I don't know why I'm scared, but good evening.
You're scared. Don't be scared. You can do this.
Why are you scared? You have been doing this thing
Don't be
since.
scared, baby girl. You can do this.
Good evening, everyone. Okay, can we get started now, or we still have to wait for a few minutes?
Okay, let's wait like extra 2 minutes. Let's wait for more people to join in.
All right.
So you can
just let me know so I can get started.
Just get ready in the next 2 minutes.
All right. So let me just try screen. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I think we should start now. Let's make welcome Oyinda Mola for today's presentation.
All right.
You there?
Yeah.
Good evening.
Okay,
Welcome.
I'm trying to share my screen now.
Okay.
Just everyone can hear, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Presentation. Okay. Let me calm down. I want to present this. Still loading up. Okay. So please, I can't see the Google Meet, right? So if there is anything, just call my attention to it so I can go back. All right.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening once again. Good evening, my fellow everyone, my fellow cybersecurity enthusiasts. And my name is Oyinda Mola. So today we're going to be taking MITRE Att&Ck, and then possibly, if time is by our side, we're going to take Git and GitHub. together. So first thing, because I don't want to be the only one talking at the moment, right? So I want our input also, but don't question me too much. Because don't make me nervous, please. So I might just throw in some questions for us to answer, right? So I believe that we are all a cybersecurity person. We have Akazie, we have the Akazie, we have the forensic guys, we have the SOC guys. So, and I'm sure that as a beginner or whoever that has been in cybersecurity has heard of what's hacking, or that something might attack, or something, what do we do when an attack happens? So this is just a question I want to throw first before I start with my class. So I want your inputs, guys. What do you think can be done, or what do you think should be done when an attacker breaks into a system? Please, I want answers. Just give me, it can be a one phrase, it can just be anything. Just give me your input, so I know that I'm not the whole one talking over here. Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, so we can hear you.
So I asked a question that how do attackers actually break into the system? How do they hack? Like, in what form do they hack? I just need inputs before I get started. No one? Okay. Since there is no response, well, I can't see the chat if you are actually sending message to the chat, because I'm on presentation at the moment. So let me just go with let me just answer myself since no one is answering me. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay.
Attackers can break into a system through phishing emails.
Yeah, thank you. So attackers can break it.
All right. I meant weak passwords too.
Okay, thank you. I don't know who is talking, but thank you. So attackers can break in through phishing, exploiting vulnerabilities, exploiting weak passwords, credential dumpings, and all that. So that is where we now come into what is MITRE. What is MITRE? Before we now move into what is MITRE attack, because MITRE and attack, there are two different things. What is MITRE? So MITRE is a non-profit research organization. So we can just say it's like a newspaper whereby there are things that is just not governmental. It's just like our OSINT, when we try to do OSINT, right? There are some things that are beneficial for us, and is very free to use. So it's more of like a playbook that the US non-profit organized or started for research purposes. Am I communicating, guys?
Yes, go on.
So now we've talked about what is MITRE. So what is attack? Now attack stands for, I'm sorry I was not able to put it into the presentation, but I'll just have to read a little bit out. So attack can be the ATT&CK. It actually means something. It's like an acronym of something. So the A stands for adversary, the T stands for tactics, the second T stands for techniques, and I'm reading what our hand is, and the C is for common, and the K is for knowledge. So joined together, MITRE attack is just a structured map of how attackers behave in the real world. Now, let's assume that we have an ethical hacker that wants to exploit a particular vulnerability in a system. Now, let's assume we have both the ethical hacker and the SOC analyst in the same part. They have different motive, right? The ethical hacker wants to exploit it and say, okay, where can there be the deficiency in this system? Why the SOC analyst person wants to defend, okay, let's try and make this thing very strong. So they have to collaborate. Then there is no common language that puts them together. it's just like people speaking in different languages, just like when they are reading, there's this, I've forgotten my Bible, so I don't really know. So MITRE ATT&CK is just like a common language for all for all cybersecurity enthusiasts to understand themselves. An ethical hacker can make use of MITRE ATT&CK. A SOC analyst can make use of MITRE ATT&CK. What else? Forensic person make use of MITRE ATT&CK. So it's just like a structured map of how attackers behave in the real world. How did they start? What do they do? And how did they do these things? So according to my presentation here, in 2030, MITRE researchers ran an internal experiment called the FMX project. They emulate real adversary behavior against the enterprise system, Windows systems, and carefully documented every action the attacker took. So the documentation became the first version. I talked about playbook. So it's just like the rules and regulation, the steps, and is anyone saying something? Is anyone saying something? Can I go on?
Go on.
Okay. So the MITRE ATT&CK is like a knowledge base, is a playbook to understand how adversaries, like the bad guys, how they work, how they behave, and then observed how the real attack actually happened. So the core motivations or the core things that MITRE ATT&CK was actually built on is to what? Number one, to actually understand what the attacker wants to do inside a network, and two, detecting the behaviors on how to blind them, and then the third one is to create a common knowledge among the SOC, the red team, and threat intel management, and blah blah blah, just to understand how attack work. Now we have different techniques. We have different ways. There are two common things for how to understand how MITRE ATT&CK work. So we have the why. What is the reason why? What's the reason the attacker wants to attack the system? Like there is something for them to achieve, for them to attack the system. And then the how, which is the technique, is the method they use. Now let's assume that there is an attack on a bank. Now, for that bank, we don't know what they want. For us to be able to tackle the main reason for the attack, we need to understand, okay, what's the reason why they actually attack us? Is it to get the money? Is it to get the database? Is it to expose some I don't know, some other things? So we need to first of all understand the attacker's goals, and then how is it being done, the method being used, which is it can be in different methods. It can be the phishing method, either spear phishing or whale phishing, that they have to send a malicious link to a particular person in the organization, and with that the attack spread like that. Please, if I'm speaking what some people don't understand, please call my attention to it, so I know where to go back. So are we together, please?
Yes, go on.
Okay, so the tactics is why. We need to understand the objective of the attacker at this stage. So it can be initial access, it can be a persistence, it can be privilege escalation, and also we need to understand the technique. How did they gain entrance into this particular system? Now we have something called, I have to share my other screen. Enterprise matrix. Now I'll be talking about MITRE ATT&CK. I'm so sorry, I didn't open it at first. So I need to show you guys what a MITRE ATT&CK, a MITRE matrix actually looks like. Where's my, okay. I forgot to open it earlier. Sorry, it's loading up. So now this is a MITRE attack matrix. This is everything that you need to know to understand how an attack happens, how they got in, what was exploited, and everything. So understand this. It's not compulsory you know it often, because I also don't know it often. I still have to come over here to know that, okay, this is it. So what we are looking at the moment is the MITRE, or the attack matrix. And for my presentation here, I wrote that attack isn't one single matrix, it's a family of matrices. The three are enterprise, mobile, and ICS. Now, why we actually have three is because the way a mobile phone is going to be attacked is different from how a window, a laptop is going to be attacked, is from how a database is going to be attacked. So that is why we have different matrix for our MITRE attack. Like what we have here, we have for enterprise, we have for mobile, and we have for ICS. So, okay. Why it exists separately from mobile and ICS? The threat models are fundamentally different. A ransomware actor targeting a domain controller behaves differently, completely different from an attacker targeting a SCADA system in a power plant. Like what I said, the way they might attack an application or mobile phone is different from the way a Windows system can be attacked. So the enterprise matrix helps us to understand how it is. Now let's move on to the next section here that I have here. Is just to give us a walkthrough over the enterprise that we have. Now I want to bring in cyber kill chain. Now I know some people might be looking like, oh, this looks like what cyber kill chain is, right? Yes, there is like a comparison. There is a slight difference between cyber kill chain and then MITRE attack. Cyber kill chain just contains of 7 structures, right, from the reconnaissance to the objective. Right, it's just like 7, but for MITRE attack, it comprises of a very large scale that covers everything, whatever the attack might be. So we have the reconnaissance. So I'm going to be going through, or before I go through them, so we have the colon. The colon, this here, they are the tactics. And then I mentioned earlier, if you are following me, I mentioned that the tactics can be how or why the attacker gain access into the system, and then the technique is how do they gain access, what are the tools they use in gaining access. So we have the column to be the tactics, and then we have each box to be the technique on how they gain access. Now in the first thing that an attacker will want to do in a system is to get information. Let me go to my next slide here, so I know that I'm following my slides. Okay, I've talked about this. Now the tactics here. The tactics here, we have number 1 is the reconnaissance. And what is reconnaissance? Reconnaissance, sorry, I might not pronounce it right. Please allow me for this moment. So reconnaissance is like trying to gather information. You know, an attacker wants to attack maybe CEO of a particular bank. They will have to get information. They have to get information on the person, maybe the activity. They have to get their social media, try to get to familiarize themselves about the attack or the system they're about to attack at that moment. So reconnaissance is just like gathering information on vulnerabilities for exploitation. So there are different ways that reconnaissance can be done for an attack. There are a lot of it, so I'm just going to go, I just have to go through one, and then maybe later you can come over here to read more about it, just for understanding. So for reconnaissance, we have active scanning. So active scanning can be done in different methods. Let me just be conscious of the time. Let me go back. So active scanning can be maybe scanning of the, okay, let me show some screen. Right, I think, yeah, this is perfect. So for reconnaissance, they can start with active, the attacker might be, okay, the technique I'm going to use for this tactics is active scanning. So that's to do scanning of IP blocks, scanning vulnerabilities, scanning word lists, maybe something that the person has used the most. And they might not use active scanning, and they can just use gather victim host information. So everything about reconnaissance is just trying to gather information on a vulnerability that an attacker wants to exploit. So in a case of ethical hacker now, or yeah, the red team guys, if they want to exploit a particular thing, they will have to do the reconnaissance thing. And with that, they can do with the help of OSINT, try to get information from outside, from external sources, maybe on social media, maybe on paid version platforms, just to get an information about a particular thing. There are a lot of it. There are a lot of techniques for reconnaissance, right? So we can just come here and just come and learn, or just come and get ourselves familiar with it. So I'm just going to move forward. The second one we have here is resource development. So resource development is like, this means acquiring necessary tools, infrastructure, and information required to conduct the attack. So this is just like us getting to know, okay, this is what we are going to need to attack these people. Okay, maybe we need their server, maybe we need their accounts, maybe we need their social media, and then maybe we need their domain. Those are the tools for them to, to get acquaintance with acquaintance or information about the attack they're about to conduct. Then another one we have here, okay, an example is like acquiring the credential, maybe a social media credential or a governmental PK key for them to gain access. Maybe they're trying to hack FBI to get access to some keys. So they've already done for information, like, okay, you are trying to access, or if you're trying to hack FBI company or FBI system, they need to get some specific informations of, okay, this is who is working at whom. If you want to target them, then they move to the tools. How can we get the PIN? Or how can we get a particular password of a staff working in that system or in that particular company? And then the next one we have here is the initial access. Now, initial access is the first gain of entrance, just like the first foothold. Where you want to enter a house, you have to put a leg first into, or you have to take a first step first to know that, okay, what is actually happening in this house. So initial access is like the first thing, the first foothold that an attacker is going to do in a system once they gain entrance. So it can be in form of, just like the technique we have here, we have the, maybe it's to inject contents, SQL injection to redirect the content that is being imputed on a particular site, or maybe cross-site injection also can be in form of initial access. It's just for them to get the fourth foothold into a particular system. It can be in form of phishing also. We have a lot of it here, right? I can't just go through everything at once. So I'm going to move on to the next one, which is the execution. Now, the attacker already done reconnaissance, already done resource development, already done in the initial access. Now the next one is what? The execution. That is the running the malicious code command to achieve the attacker's mindset. Now, there is one of our lecturer that's in old school, right? They always tell us to think as an attacker. So this MITRE attack is helping us, or will help us to think that, okay, the first thing that an attacker is going to do at first is to get information. That's why we need to be careful of the information we disperse out there, so as the company also, several like that. So the attacker already got the reconnaissance, already passed through the stage of resource development, already passed through the stage of initial access. Now he's now at the execution part. He already gained entrance. So an example of, and I already mentioned that execution part is like running a malicious code or command to achieve the attacker's mindset. So it can be a form of like manipulation, a script manipulation to a system. If there's a code, a Python code that, or a blockchain code that the attacker might just infiltrate, and then there is a way that they are going to do it, modernize it, and redirect that code into another channel. Maybe it's supposed to go into one channel, it's going to another one. So the next one is persistence. Please, is everyone, can anyone still hear me? So it won't look like I'm just talking.
Yes, Onyi, we are still with you. We can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So the next one is the persistence. Now, for some attackers, for some hackers, they might just, once they execute whatever they want to do, they are done. But there's some that they need to like they need to be persistent. They need to be there for a while. So that is where persistence comes from. So it's just to maintain access to compromise system. Now, okay, let's assume that maybe as a SOC analyst, you already detect the attacker's mindset. You already know that, okay, this is how they came in, this is how, and then you already fix it up. But and just like that, the attacker already missed that purpose or missed that duration of attacking that system another time. So what they are going to do is to make a persistence action. It is creating a backdoor or creating a scheduled task in the compromised system. So it's just like maybe they created a backdoor. So it's going to be easy for them to come back into the system and do whatever they want to do. So we have to think as the bad guy, and also as the good guy to contact these bad guys on how they work. So we have the different techniques for it. We have the account manipulation. We have the brute for login, auto start execution. We have the BITH jobs. So there are actually a whole lot of it, right? Once you just understand this, I wish I can just open my head and put all these things in there. So I know that I already understand how an attacker is going to move in a system. Now move on to the next one, which is the privilege escalation. Now they already have a backdoor. So even though they've been detected, but the loophole has not been blocked. The attacker can just come in and out anytime they like. So they move on to the next step, which is the privilege escalation. This allows adversaries, that is the bad guys, to obtain higher level of access within the target environment. This is like, okay, there's still credentials. They convert themselves to admin, making use of the sudo command, like that. They've already gone overboard. They already have higher level to the normal way. They've already hijacked the admin control from whoever owns the system or the company that is being attacked at the moment. Now we move on to the next one. The defense evasion. So this allows the bad guys, the adversaries, to avoid detection. at first, maybe the SOC person was not able to dictate that, oh, this person is there, or maybe they didn't actually close the barcode. So the evasion is to create a disguise so that they won't know that they are still there. There's still a loophole in the system. So we have like obfuscating malware, we have bypass user control and all that. So I'm going to move to the next, which is the credential access. So this involves stealing or obtaining essentials within the compromised system. So they already gain access, they already gain the foothold, they already they already maintain access into the system. Now, what they're actually doing at the moment is now credential access. So this involves them stealing and obtaining credentials, maybe just to maybe password or credentials or a particular encryption key must not be out. They've already gotten access to it. That's credential access that they've. Then the next one is the discovery part. Now, this is gathering information to better understand the configuration guest or the attack pin. Now, this is the part that, okay, they're trying to understand how does this work, making use of the account discovery, making use of different methods, actually different techniques. This one has like 34 techniques right here. Then now we'll now move on to the lateral movements. This allow movements literally. So they've already chased the landlord out. Now they now owns the hackers now owns that system because they've already gotten the admin privilege to do anything they want in the system. So the lateral movement is they are not allowed to move literally within and outside of the compromised system. So that is exploiting, hijacking, internal spear phishing, and all that. Yeah, software development tools, trying to bypass a whole lot of things. Now, the next one we have here is the collection. This involves exfiltrating information from compromised system. Now, they've already gotten everything that I needed. They've hijacked, they've done everything. Now, the collection part is them moving out the information, maybe it's money or in a Bitcoin or whatever. They've already gotten everything. So it's just them taking out the information to their whole abode for use. That is literally what collection is about. So it involves extracting information from compromised system. Then the next one we have is the control and command. They already have the higher level privilege. They already have everything within them. So it's like establishing monitoring communication channel in the compromised system. So it's just like a attacker that can even have access to the system without even being physically on the system, because they've already gained entrance, they already have the command to do anything. It's just like there's this joke that they do make that I saw my system just blink, turn to black, then comes back on. So that's gonna be like maybe an attacker has already gotten control over your system, and then they are doing something underground you don't know. So that is the command and the control part of it. Now the exfiltration is the transferring of stolen data from the compromised system. They've gotten your data and then everything. So they've already taken all your data and then transfer it to other. Now the
Your network is bad though.
Oni, are you there?
Your network.
Handshake is going on and off, on and off. Oh, yeah, are you there? I even thought it's from my own end.
Let me reach out to her. You guys should just hold on.
Okay. Please hold on, everyone. Please do not leave the meeting while we reach out to Oyin. Please hold on, everyone. Let's wait for Oyin, please. Do not leave the meeting. Okay, Oyin, are you back? Oyin, can you hear me?
Yes.
I think your network is playing on you today.
Network is acting up. Okay, it's
Yes.
still loading up from my end. Okay, am I audible now?
Yes, I can hear you. I think others can hear you too.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to share my screen back.
All right.
Where was I? Okay, I think I was on Mitre Att&Ck. Can I close this one? Okay, guys, can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can see your screen, Oyin. I can see your screen.
Okay, try to close this one. It's blocking my view here. How about now, Priska?
I can see your screen.
Okay, so I was talking about impact earlier. So it's just like the damage that has been done by the attacker on the system. Now we are going to make a practicalized a practical out of it at the moment. Okay, before we go on to the practical, I just want an activity, though it's already showing. I wish I can just call it. So it's like a scenario for us to understand the MITRE attack and how the attacker gained entrance. So the scenario is an employee receives an email with a Word document attachment. The document asks them to enable macros. Red flag number 1. After enabling it, PowerShell runs. That's red flag number 2, because why is a Word document or a Word attachment running as a PowerShell, running on PowerShell? It is not supposed to be so. Then there is a new scheduled task appear. That is that, okay, there is a compromisation here. And then it moves on to multiple failed login attempts occur from the same hosts. SMB connections are observed to another internal server. That is exfiltration. That and large outbound TTPs traffic follows. That is, they're already moving out data from that system. So the expected mapping, it says the first thing that they did was a phishing. So maybe they sent the attachments to the CEO, that is spear phishing, right? So that is their initial access. They already done the reconnaissance. They're already like, okay, they already gotten their information. Now, the first thing they did is what? The initial access. And the initial access, the technique they use is the phishing part, sending a compromised or a malicious Word document account attachments. Then the macro, which is the execution part of it, is to enable it, okay, that to stamp it that, okay, let's try to work on this attachment that has been done. They got the foothold into the system. Then the next one is the scheduled task, which is the persistent. So assuming that the macro was not executed, no maybe the stock analyst.
Oh, your network is very bad. We could barely hear you properly. I think it's breaking.
Okay, this is what has been compromised. This is what has been gotten in the particular system. So the next guys, the same with Jesus.
Oh, can you hear me? Oh, yeah, are you there? Oh, our network is really, really, really bad. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, yeah, are you there?
I feel like maybe continue for what?
I can't hear you, Danny.
I said, I think a call came in, so it's disrupting her network.
Okay. Let's wait a bit for her. Let's wait for her to join back again. Danny, could you please reach out to her again?
I've done that already. She said she'll be back in a few seconds.
Okay, thank you.
I actually want to use this opportunity, and okay, she's back.
Sorry for my network. I don't know what's going on this night. This one has closed.
Can you please go ahead?
Yes, I'm sure she's coming back.
Okay.
Now I lost this one closed. Oh, sugar. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Priska, are you with your system?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Can you come, please? Okay, so I'm going to move on to the. Is there any question on the MITRE Att&Ck before we move on? Because I'll be opening my Splunk now for us to have a practical section. So yeah, I think I stopped here. So the field login is the credential access. So we actually did not know that the attacker was able to gain entrance, but from the last sentence, it said large outbound HTTPS traffic outflow. That is, the attacker was able to log in successfully and then gain entrance into the compromised system. That's why it was able to take out some information, which is X, Jesus Christ. So for us to practicalize what we've learned and just to see the real thing of how an attacker got access into a particular system and how we are able to dictate the particular attacker. So I'll be opening my Splunk. I have a particular file, a log that we are going to be working on together. Please, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. And you can see my screen too, right?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay. So we are moving on to the practical section now. Please, virtual machine, please open now. Okay. So before we move on, I said we are going to touch some Git and GitHub also. So I'll be taking some screenshots. For us to, when the Git and GitHub class session starts, I'll be able to make use of them. So when my Kali is opening up, I'm going to create a folder. I'm going to create a folder for where I'm going to create to put my screenshots. What is it going to be? So because my screenshot does not save on my Kali, so it's usually saved on my old system. Okay. Please, can anyone still hear me?
Yes, I can still hear you. You go on.
All right. So now we've done the theory aspects. Now we want to do the practical aspect on how we can make use of a MITRE attack in identifying how an attacker works, or on how they gain entrance and their behavior, to understand their behavior much more better. Now I already have a file, so I'm just going to open my terminal and then upload the log file into my Splunk. So do I still know the name? Yeah, I think this is where it should be. So yeah, I think this is where it should be. So please, this is because I already have my file in a particular place, and what I actually want to do is just to launch my Splunk at the moment, because I have my Splunk downloaded, and then so that is what I'm trying to do now. So starts. I have to restart it. I have to stop because I think I have something running already. So I don't want it to cause any issue. So I have to stop, then start a fresh one. Please let me know that I'm communicating. No.
Oh, you go on. You're communicating with you.
Okay. It doesn't look like I'm just. So I'm going to start it. I'm going to start my Splunk now. So for my ethical hackers here and my forensic guys, so Splunk is just like a tool used by the SOC analysts to detect, analyze logs. So with that, we'll be able to see how the attacker, or what a file or what a log is all about, whether it was attacked, whether it was compromised, whether a data was being extracted from the log or from the system. So Splunk is going to help us to analyze the data. That is what we want to do now. So right now, let's assume that maybe in a company, or maybe a SOC service company, they gave us a file, or maybe a particular system or company was attacked now, and they gave us the log file to analyze. So we've gotten the log file and we are trying to analyze what the data is all about, whether the attacker was able to get data away from their system, whether they were able to, anything that they've done. So far it happens online, and then it's part of the data, part of the log that was sent. So definitely we are going to see everything happens. So right now I'm going to launch my Splunk. Open link. Okay, it's opening up. Okay, so okay, these are some that I worked on. So this is just like the interface of what Splunk looks like, and we are going to get started with it. Now, I'm going to upload my log. I'm going to upload the log that I'll be analyzing now. So I'm going to get where my file is located. So I'm going to be making use of this log. That's the log that we are going to be analyzing. So next, Lord, please let this thing just finish at once. You don't end the problem. All right, so still loading. So we have some beautiful. I'm going to save it as just for me to have a name to it. Secure MITRE log. So because I'm going to make use of this name, also highlights. I'm going to save. I'm not running any that process. Why is my system lagging? Okay, so move on to next one here. These are not really compulsory, right? But just for a clear understanding stage, so you won't have to be confused while you're trying to analyze your log. So that's how I usually do this. I just know that, okay, I'm only looking for a particular name without confusing it with any other thing. So I have it as secure.log. What's my pen? So I won't forget. Hold on. So I'm going to go ahead, submit. Okay, let me go back. Okay, since it already exists, so exists then. All right. What's happening? Okay, let me just change this name then. Let me change it to my tag. I also confuse it with different names. Yeah. Oh, no. Okay, so we've successfully uploaded our data. Now we have to start searching. Hey Jesus, we need to start searching. So let's just see the log that we uploaded now, because oh my god, what did I do? Right. This is our log here. Now, this log, they are not going to analyze themselves. There is something called SPL, which is the Splunk processing language. It's just like a keyword that SOC analysts do use to discover something or to analyze something. I don't know all. I just have few that I already have down already. I already wrote them down for me to analyze my log perfectly. Now, looking at this log at this moment, we already know that okay, this is looking very fishy, but we can't guarantee it. We can't just say, oh, because you are seeing. Sorry, can anyone still hear me, or can you see my screen?
I can hear you, Oyi, and I can still see your screen.
Okay, thank you, Priska. So, while looking at this, when I say, okay, this is actually malicious, we can't just say out of our own thinking or out of our own mind because we see failed password for so, but we need to make an in-depth observation. We need to make an in-depth analyzing for us to know that, okay, this is the particular IP address that was abuse, or that is the malicious IP address, and this is what this attacker, this is what he or she carried out in this system. So for us to do that, we are going to make use of SPL, which I talked about earlier. But there are some things here, there are some field here that we need to use to map our log. But looking at it from here, there is not enough for me to analyze this log. So I will have to filter and create some log that will be useful for me. So I'm going to come over to extract new field. With that, you're going to be seeing what I will be extracting for me to get the easy way to analyze this data. So, okay. This is the raw file. So I'm going to select what I want to use. So you can see interesting things happening in this log, right? But we can't just guess. We can't guess at the moment. We need to take it as think, and also we have to think as an attacker, how did he gain entrance, or how did she gain entrance into the system? What was being done? There are a lot of interesting things happening here. So I'm just going to click one for me to filter here. So I'm going to be making use of regex. That is the regular expression used by the one that I know, which is the regular expression. I don't know about delimiters. So I'm going to next. Now, this is an activity that happened on the system. So how am I going to filter it? I have the activity done by the user. We have a failed password, we have news, we have the IP address, we have the ports, we have the time. Now, what I only need here, what is needed here for me is just the IP address and the user. So they said failed password for news from blah, blah, blah IP address. So this is our user. I'm going to highlight it now. What are you doing? Okay. So I've highlighted it. So I'm going to name it because that is my user. Then I'm going to, oh, I should have given it a particular name, but anyways, then source IP, SRC IP, enter. So that is for failed password extraction. So you can see from here, there are some things that are not they are not highlighted, right? So we have to make sure that every log is being highlighted. Like you can see the one that has cross here. It shows that the filter that I made or the rule that I created in my Splunk does not apply to these ones here. So I will have to create another one, but I have to save this first. So I have to save this, finish, then extract more fields. This should not do like with data thing copies. So I'm going to extract more fields. Okay. No. So first already just myself. Oh, this thing has happened again. Let me just go back. Existing fields. No. Let me go back to where it was at first. Sorry, this is taking long already. So I'm going to be making use of this one again. It doesn't cancel the one we already created. So I'll be picking for this. Yeah, I'll be picking for this, for the invalid users. So next. So it said failed password for invalid user. Local, this is our user. Then the IP address. So I'm going to do the regex manner also. Is this boring? I think that it is boring. So let me align this. Oh no. Oh. Okay. So I'm going to name this user. Oh no. We already have a user. So I have to give it another name. Rename user. So it should be invalid user. Invalid user. Starts. Okay. Okay, underscore. Invalid user. Then the next one, I'm going to create for this also. No. Oh, no. Okay, then the invalid source IP. Enter. So I think we have everything now. Yeah, we have this. This is already created. This has already been created. So next. Yeah, and then we can wrap it up here. Finish. So explore the field I just created. So we've already created the field for us to, analyze our log easily. So, okay. Now I'm going to do the time range of all time so I can see my log. So I named it so I won't confuse myself. Secure MITRE, right? Now, just hope everyone is still with me, Sha. So we have our logs here. Now we need to take it one step at a time. We have a log. So the first thing we need to do is that this log, is it compromised? Can we dictate whether there is a brute force? Can we dictate whether it's a brute force attack or any other attack? So for us to check it, because right now we can see a whole lot of failed password, a lot of failed something happening at the moment. So our first instinct is to think that, okay, maybe it's a brute force attack. So for us to search, for us to make use of the SPL command, for us to search for the brute force attack, for us to confirm our thinking that, okay, maybe this is a brute force attack or not. So I'm going to do failed password in colon, then so I'm going to do stats. So stats count by source IP and user. Now, this command is just to show the list of IP address and the user that got failed password multiple times. So this is going to give us the number. So for it to be in a descending order from the number from the highest to the lowest, so we are going to do sorts dash count. So this one is going to give us the particular user that got a failed password at with a particular number attached to it. So I'm going to enter. Still loading. Priska, is still here? Everywhere is awfully quiet.
We're here. We're listening to you. It's just everyone muted their call.
Okay. So, as we can see right now, what did you say? Okay.
The screen. Okay.
What happened to my screen?
No. We're seeing your screen. I said people muted their
call,
their microphone. Yeah, so don't worry. We're not hearing you.
Okay. So, from this command that we wrote here, we've been able to detect the particular failed password. We got the IP, we got the user, and we got the number of times that this particular IP got failed password. So this is just like an interpretation of a brute force attack, but we need to confirm that whether this particular IP was able to log in. You know, here it says failed password, so we just need to take notes of the IP addresses that we have here. So I'm going to write down the first two IP addresses that have the highest. So right now we should be thinking that, oh, this IP address seems to be the malicious one. And then we can also say this IP address is the malicious one because it has a high number also. But we can't just decide. The SQL is going to decide for us whether it is true, whether this particular IP is the attacker or not. I'm going to be writing down 10.3.10.46. Then the second one, which is 10.2.10.163. Now, right again, okay, they got failed password. What about if they got success accepted password? I think from the log, you notice that it is accepted, that is there and not successful. So let's say that was able to log in successfully. So now notice in our failed password, the first IP, which is the Johnson, in the first failed password, it has like 43 or 30 something. Now it was able to log in multiple times, 200 and something. Now your instinct as a SOC analyst or as a forensic person should be like, okay, this person is moving very creepy, very malicious, very saucy. So we'd have to keep it in mind because we've already broken it down to these numbers of people that were able to log in into the system. Now, but we still have to confirm that, okay, this person is malicious or not. Now, we not need to know whether there is a compromise on the system. There is a compromise in maybe, now we already know that, okay, this particular IP has been reduced to a particular number. Now let's detect whether it's, oh, sorry, I forgot to do my screenshots. So let me my snake. I don't think I have. This is taking long, right? I'm sorry. I just have to to be fast with it. Where's my snake? Okay. So new. Where's my system acting so funny today? God, I beg. Please now. What's going on? Okay. So I got the number, the particular user that was able to log in successfully. Going to save. Save as. So I'm going to save it in the folder that I created. Now, then we've gotten whether we've gotten the IP address that try to log in multiple times, and then the particular one that was accepted. Now let's move on to whether the system was compromised or not. So this SPL command for that is so I'm going to come over here, do table -time, then user, then source IP. I'm going to clear this one. So we want to see the one that was compromised. We already have our eyes on a particular IP. So it's just for like confirmation that, okay, this IP is malicious or not. Now, okay, we have Mian, we have this, we have Johnson. Johnson is still there again. Now, looking at this, we have a whole lot of Johnson. So we can actually decide that, okay, this particular IP is malicious, but we still need to be very sure. So it shouldn't be like maybe a background noise for our log. So let me screenshot this one also. There's lights. I wish this thing can be faster. Now we've done the initial access. We already got that. Okay, there is one. Just so you guys still remember that we are trying to map it according to our MITRE attack. We already have the initial access using the brute force attack, which is using the brute force technique. Now we need to move on. We've gotten that, okay, it has been compromised by these particular IP addresses. Now we need to check the privilege escalation. Like, okay, which particular IP or user has make use of the, or has taken the higher level of sudo or admin from these IP addresses that we have. So I'm going to go over to my search bar and say, why I'm doing all this, because I already have I already have an understanding of what my log look like. So before you do anything in your log, would have understand, okay, these are the words that you need to search at a particular time or during your searches to know that, okay, this is what I'm going to search to know that this thing has been compromised or not. Thank you. So I'm going to search section. If you notice, there's something like section opened for user root. So we need to know which particular one made use of this command. So I'm going to clear this. This is the privilege escalation parts. Now, looking at this, you can see this one, this IP has made use of privilege escalation. The N shape is made use of SU, which is the sudo. This is, that is, it has hijacked the admin level, because thinking of it, this is not supposed to be so, right? So it's making use of the privilege escalation to become an admin. It made opened session open for user root by this person, session open for user root by this person. Now we have a whole lot of them here, but for confirmation, which is going to be, sorry guys, it's going to be our last confirmation to know that, okay, this particular IP is the real attack, is the real malicious IP attack or not. So I'm going to screenshot this one also to confirm our suspicions, to confirm our mind that, okay, this one is particularly suspicious or not. There are a lot of things you can do in Splunk, right? You can visualize it. You can, I think, can do the, you can make it in map. So since this is not a SOC class, this is not just only for SOC analysts, guys. So I'm just going to move forward for it. So now for us to confirm that, okay, this particular IP is the real malicious IP is the attacker or not. We've already seen that it has compromised. We already see that it has gotten the privilege access, the privilege escalation of using this SU, which is the sudo. So now let's confirm it. So it won't be like the background noise. Background noise is just like the normal thing that happen on our system. Maybe the system that is trying to act funny while trying to upload or something else. But now let's try to confirm our. Let's try to confirm. So I'm going to do source IP equals to I'm going to, we have 3 IP addresses at first, the other time that we're able to log in successfully, but I'll be making use of 2 to know which one is suspicious or not. And we are going to see it now. So I'm going to say 10 dots. Let me take the second one before it goes for the Johnson. 10, is it 10? 10, yeah, 10.2 dots 10.163 in quotes. Then I'm going to do table dash time. Let me do time source IP user. Then we want our data in row. Then sort. So it's going to sort it with the number of time, the number that it got access. Okay. So from this, we are going to see whether login. Now, you see that from here, it says accepted password, accepted password, accepted password. Now, this is not looking suspicious, right? It was able to log in at first and then accepted. So there is not like initial access. There is not like deliberation. Your past them, so you log in, so you actually confirm that this thing is suspicious or not. So which is the second IP? Okay, before that, let me screenshot. I'm still going to come back here for myself though, but let me just go on. So the second IP address, which is .3.10.46. Now, which is the second IP address that has a lot of inputs, that has 300 and something. So I'm going to do enter. Now, looking at this, we have accepted, failed. We have accepted, we have both accepted and we have both failed from this particular user. If I go to the next one, we have a lot of accepted, we have a lot of failed. So it's just like the numbers of time that it tries to access this particular system. So this actually confirmed to us that this is the malicious IP address. Is there any question? Do we have any questions so we can move on to Git and GitHub? Do you have a question? Do I have a question or not? Okay, so let me just go ahead to my, let me even see the, can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Is Priska here? Okay, so now to the final aspect. Can I go on? What about Daniela?
Actually, your time is
Can I
actually
finish up
up,
with
but
the Git and GitHub since you're taking a whole line?
Yeah, no, like the time is already up. I don't know for any other person. I think people are already going off the call. So I don't know if you can keep it for another time or if you can
Okay,
continue. I
that's
hope it's not
fine
going to
then.
waste. Is it going to waste so
Thank
much
you.
time?
Not really. I can just go through it, run through it,
Okay,
then
okay. If it's not
just
going to
cover it.
waste much time, yeah, you can.
All right, that's fine. So now let's
Yeah.
quickly go to Git and GitHub. So then in a nutshell, it's just like trying to save our work. Yeah, trying to save our work into the cloud without paying. So it's just like in case maybe there's something might happen to a system that might crash or something else, but we want our work to be perfect, to be in safe hands without it crashing or without losing that particular file. So that is what Git and GitHub is all about. So we can, as a developer or as a cybersecurity person, we can save our work, whether it is in form of code, whether it is form of images, videos, recording, or anything. It's just us trying to put our works into the cloud system. Now, for you to have GitHub or for you to do anything on GitHub, you need to have Git installed on your laptop or on your system, which is the locally cloud for your system that tracks every work that you do on your system. And then we have to create a GitHub account. Now, there are a lot of terminologies that we can use. I'm just going to open my own GitHub account here. Create a repository. Now, what is a repository? A repository is just like a house. It's just like a house for you to keep your belongings. So we want to get a place that we can store all our works on the cloud. Just like the AWS, you want to do your EC2 and then try to save some things, your buckets and all that. So we are going to create a repository to keep our work. What we have on the system, on our local host, we want to keep it into the cloud. So we need to create a repository for it. I'm just going to rush this because, yeah, time has gone a lot. I've taken a whole lot of time. So I'm going to create a repository for what I've done here. So I'm going to name it, okay, still loading. So I'm going to create a repository. So the name I want to give to my repository, so I can make it MITRE attack log. So you can add a description of what your project is all about. You can make it public, you can make it private. So for public, that means for every person that comes to your profile, they are going to see that document. So if it is something that is discreet, that must not be seen by an outsider, so you have to keep the project as private. But right now, I'm just going to create the repository here because anybody can come to my GitHub account and check out the projects that I've done. So now for me to do that, I have to go back to my system. For me to do that, I have to go to, yeah, the folder that I created for it. I already created my folder and everything. So for me to do that, I need to open my command prompt, which is the CMD. So it is from the CMD I'll be able to put this thing to the GitHub repository that I created. Now, right now, I've not initialized it. I'm just going, sorry, I'm actually trying to rush now. So the first command we are going to use is git init. Now, Git, what does Git init do? Git init is trying to initialize, trying to create a GitHub folder into your system or into that particular repository that you've created. So I'm going to do Git init. So we've already initialized what we are doing. The next thing I'm going to do is git commit. And what is git add? I have to do git add first. So git add is going to add everything that you've done on your system, or everything that you want to push to your GitHub. You are going to do git add for it. Maybe you want to exempt some, or maybe you want to do some. So git add dot is going to add everything to your it's going to add everything that you want to push to your GitHub. Then the next one was git commit. Now git commit has -m, which is the message that you want to do. So you can just give it a short description of MITRE log or anything. MITRE log. So everything that, all the screenshot that I have, it has been committed. So even if I want to go back and start another thing again, even though I did not push directly to GitHub, I can still go back inside. Maybe I lost something, or maybe I want to do something, I want to make some amendments. I can still go back to make some changes, then commit it again. With that, it has been saved locally on my system, but it is not yet on the GitHub server. So what I'm going to do is to git branch -M, then main. So this is us trying to change a particular branch. Branch is just like different apartments in the house. So we have masters. You can create your own branch. You can create several branches. You can create several branches for yourself. So right now we are the only person working on this particular project. So you can put in any place. You can create another branch for us. So that one is git branch checkout to another branch. You give it another name. Now, since we've already moved it to branch of main, I'm just going to copy this because this is our repo, our repository name, and then we want to add what we've done. We want to add it to this repository. So I'm going to do paste it. With that, we've already know that, okay, this is our room, this is our house, this is our particular room that we want to put this particular project into. Then the final one that we are going to do is to git push it. Okay, I'm going to just git push, and with that we are done with pushing anything to GitHub. If you want to continue with it, or maybe you've done another project, or you have more screenshots to do, there is a command for you to do with that. So I'm waiting for this one to finish up. Oh Jesus. I'm trying for it to. Okay, now it has successfully pushed to GitHub. So even though I'm just going to refresh. So even though I wiped out all the memory on my system, I'm still going to have all my projects intact on GitHub. So I can pull it at any time if I want to work on it. And I think that is all, right? Time has really gone. So you can collaborate, you can do a lot of things. Well, I'll just advise us to, go over it again with any time that you have. So I'm waiting for this one to refresh so we can see that our project has been successfully pushed to GitHub. Come on. Now, so this is basically what we did, and it is now on GitHub. Thank you. So do you have any question before round it up? Thank you so much for staying back. I don't know, my network has frozen and it's not able to show properly.
Thank you so much. I don't know, does anyone have any questions to ask her?
Yeah, I don't have a question. I don't know if any other person has. Okay. Thank you so much, Damo. I don't know how to pronounce your name, so sorry. But you've actually done so well. Like, you took your whole time explaining everything you know about this, and it shows that you know exactly what you're doing.
you.
And we're so proud of you. And thank you so much to everyone that has stayed till the end of this session. Like, I know it's not easy. At least this is an encouraging stuff to her. Like, it's good to encourage our very own ourselves in everything, because as you're here for her, when it's your turn, she'll also be here for it. So even the ones that have left, I know maybe they have one thing or the other they were doing, that's why they had to leave. But I really appreciate you all. I appreciate you, Deborah, Rachel, Sammy, Ostos, Priska, Solomon, Vivian, Enoch, the rest of them that left, Aboyemi, and the rest of them that left. I can't really mention all their names. Okay, Mr. you have a question?
No, not a question per se. Mine is a appreciation to Oyinda and to Priska that hosted. I think you guys did a wonderful job. For me, unfortunately, I was not stable. I had other meetings that came across, and I don't know if this meeting was recorded, because it's something I would have loved to look at, right? But I sincerely appreciate Oyinda for trying to be very much available, even though network was trying to mess her up at some point.
Yeah, yes, she did so well. Like, I actually enjoyed the session. I actually did. It was actually a mind-blowing session. Well done, Oida. Thank you, everyone. And let's prepare for the next meeting on Saturday, right? Yeah, on Saturday. So for now, let's call it a day. Good night.
Thank you.